What do you define Recruiter GPS to be?
Recruiter GPS trademark, Recruiter U, is what a lot of you have probably heard about as metrics. And it's the key numbers we measure that actually, and most recruiters either don't know this intellectually or don't know this at all, and it's not your fault, is that actually predict your income. So, that's just like you would use GPS in your car on Waze, Google Maps. It's you're going to a destination that you might not have gone to before or haven't gone to often, and turn right here, turn left here, go 10 miles on the same route, and a half hour later, a week later, you end up at your destination because you were guided there by very specific actions.
So why are metrics so important, and how do they provide certain revenue?
We're mostly trained as recruiters and recruiting firm owners to track placements. Placements is where the revenue comes from. There's all the obvious reasons to track placements, except the only problem with defining our success week to week, month to month, based on the number of placements we made, is we're defining our success with the one thing that we have absolutely no control over. We have no control over if a client makes an offer. We have no control over if your candidate accepts an offer. We have strong influence with our client. There's things we can say in our conversations with clients that influence the offer, that influence the structure of the offer, the timing of the offer. And on the flip side, there's things we do with candidates where we influence, their ability to accept an offer based on the numbers, based on the situation, the timing, et cetera. However, we don't control it. And then what happens is a deal blows up, and at some level, we define ourselves as a failure. I can't do this business, especially when one is new. And they feel their inability to put that thing together was their fault. There may have been things they contributed, but again, the placement is beyond the control of the individual. So what is in our control? In our control is all the things that lead up to a placement. In our control is the number of candidates we talk to, the number of prospects we talk to, the number of interviews we arrange, the number of job orders we take. And then you might say, well, I can't control if a company has an opening. No, but you can control your ability to implement the amount of marketing activity that leads to a job order. And it's all very statistical, as we're going to get to here in a couple minutes.
Why do recruiters neglect using metrics in their business if they're so important?
Ignorance. Most people, even though I was taught in a franchise and I was taught all the metrics, I was never taught it down to the level that it provides complete sanity and complete control. So, one, imagine a company, a publicly traded company, $1 billion corporation on an earnings call going, I think we're gonna do $250 million next quarter. We thought we were going to do it, but Bob in San Diego quit and Mary in Chicago quit, so we didn't hit our numbers. You never hear that. You never hear about individual sales performance. They're able to predict in a normal economy, they're able to predict their income within a penny or two, most oftentimes a share. Well, how do they do that? They're going to use the same concepts we're going to talk about down to whether it's a $250,000 desk or a $1 million or $10 million recruiting firm. And the reason they don't do it, the reason they don't do it is most firm owners believe that it's a form of micromanagement, that if they check in on specific numbers, managing their people. Or I've heard owners tell me, well, my people are adults. I shouldn't need to do that. Well, every other company in the country does. So it's instead of it being a punishment, we're going to show you how it's actually a path to liberation. That if you execute to your targets week to week and month to month, you cannot but help hit your annual income goal. So the reason they don't track it is, as I said in the first word, ignorance. Ignorance that this is the process to complete sanity and predictability on a recruiting desk and in a recruiting firm.
If placements are not the end-all be-all of tracking a metric, what are the key metrics to measure and why?
Well, here they are, Tina Marie. This is your own personal recruiter GPS. So we're going to walk you through this exercise real quick. So just for our argument's sake, assume MP equals a marketing presentation. RP equals a recruit presentation. A job order is a job order you will work, not a job order you take at a lousy fee that you're not going to do anything with. For our personal definition, a job order is a job order you will work. So an FTI is a first-time interview, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in person, whether it's via Zoom, just the first-time interview. So if that's all you measure, you will have the ability to have, again, know on any given week if you had a successful week, whether a deal blew up or not. If you hit the key targets for your based on the outcome you're seeking, you'll have had a successful week.
Can you please explain exactly what a marketing presentation and a recruit presentation is?
Yes, a marketing presentation is an actual conversation, not an email exchange, not a text exchange. I call you up. However I present my services, I have a conversation. If it's as quick as we never use recruiters and they hang up, that's one. Voicemails don't count. An actual interaction with somebody in a position to hire is a marketing presentation. Same thing on the candidate side. An actual conversation with a candidate about moving forward in their career, whether they go, I hate recruiters, goodbye, and hang up, that is a recruit presentation. It's not the follow-up conversation. So if you have a recruit presentation or a marketing presentation with somebody and it's 5 minutes into it and they say, you know what, I really want to continue this conversation, but I'm out of time. Can we do this? Can we finish this call tomorrow? And you have another call tomorrow, it still counts as one. So that's the definition of an RP or an MP.
Now that we know what we should track, how do you reverse engineer these numbers to get to your goal?
So here we have it spelled out. So for $250,000, would actually be $252,000 based on this example to be precise, but $250,000 desk at an average fee of $21,000. And these are pretty standard numbers. Most people are a little higher, a little lower, but from our experience, $21,000. And conservatively, meaning for every 8 first-time interviews you arrange, and I have SO, which is also first-time interview. SO equals FTI. For every first-time interview you arrange to a placement is 8 to 1. Again, phone, Zoom, or face-to-face. Recruit presentation, a first-time interview equals 12 to 1, meaning you have to have 12 candidate conversations for one person to go out on an interview. And your job order to placement ratio, meaning for every 4, if you're a contingency, it's not uncommon for every 4 job orders you take to fill 1. Retained is probably 4 to 3 or 5 to 4 even, but we'll just keep it in the contingency world, 4 to 1. And our experience is in this market, it takes about 13 marketing conversations to get 1 job order. If you're a more seasoned recruiter, that might be lower, but these numbers are very conservative. So based on that, that's kind of what a desk looks like. So if you want to hit your goals, if somebody wanted to hit that numbers with those parameters, they would need 12 placements. 250K divided by 21, again, equals exactly 252. 96 first-time interviews are needed, which is 12 placements times 8 first-time interviews, equals 2 first-time interviews per week. And we have all the math spelled out. This is exactly how you reverse engineer it. And so for someone to do $250,000 per year, they need to talk to 24 recruits and 13 prospects. And we have it all spelled out here. So if they're talking to 37 people per week, between 7 and 8 a day, that's a $250,000 desk. And the challenge is most people don't talk to 2 or 3 a day. And they always are focused on their deals in progress versus executing to these targets.
What is the best way to track your daily metrics?
I built a $3 million business using 3x3 Post-its with hash marks. So RP 1, 2, 3. The reason I like a little 3x3 Post-it pad is demo 1. right, is they don't take up a lot of space in your desk. For the most part, they're fairly accurate. CRMs do track it, but you have to go back through usually 2 or 3 screens to close it out versus RPMP, hash mark, hash mark, hash mark. And at the end of the week, we have a portal for our clients where they enter their numbers. It takes less than 5 minutes. There's a variety of other services that'll track your metrics. Your CRM will track your metrics. And all you need to do is track it on a Post-it pad at the end of the week, not even the end of the day. Go enter your weekly numbers, and it's literally that simple, 5 minutes a week.
To wrap up, what is the one thing someone can do today to start working with metrics?
What I would do is go back to this formula and change the numbers appropriately. If your goal is 200K, you can lower the number. If your goal is 350, 400,000. What's your average fee? Very easy to determine. Look at the last 6 invoices you generated, total them up, divided by 6. Most people don't know the rest of these numbers. First time interview to placement. You can use these numbers as a benchmark. You will have solid data within 4 weeks on how many candidates it takes to get one to go on an interview and how many prospects it takes to talk to get a search assignment. So if you track that data will give you enough data within a month for you to have highly forecastable revenue. So it's just take out the heavy duty 3x3 Post-it pad and worst case scenario, just start making hash marks and you'll be on track. So net, in sum, what I find is one of the reasons people don't track metrics after we've revealed this to them, it's like the person who's trying to lose weight that doesn't get on a scale. You don't want to see what the number is. So it doesn't mean your production's going to be any better. I would just challenge you to go from stop tracking placements to start tracking the activity and define your success or failure in the course of a week as did you execute to the targets.